Alrighty. Still a little sick. I've been sick for 7 days. Going on 7 days. It's one of the lingering colds. And I'll just clear something up real quick. Yeah, I did go to college. In the last video I said I didn't. I went to a community college. What I was trying to say is I didn't go to debt for like a 4 year. I probably just didn't mention that because I really wanted to forget that time. That time sucked. But yeah, anyways. That's enough of that. But really, kind of in the same vein of that whole not going into debt thing, like chase your needs, don't chase your wants, and don't definitely don't chase your dreams. I saw a little meme on like on the background of anti-natalist outreach's video demotivating Tony Robbins followers, which is kind of funny. The video itself was funny too, but the meme was hilarious as well. It's like. Uh, Rainbows are like dreams, only idiots chase them. And that's a very true statement because your dreams are just, uh, they change all the time. And if you do get them, like if they're not realistic, I guess I should say, you're going to keep wanting more and you're just going to be chasing your tail. Your needs, on the other hand, like you can list them. They're finite and they're much, much easier to get. Even like I know some people live in places where homes are more expensive and stuff, but you could kind of cut some corners in other things that you're doing and get a home or an apartment or whatever. Stuff like that. Like you already know what you need. You don't need me to tell you. I mean, I guess you could throw in a few more things aside from the basics. And I'm talking about shit you got to pay for. I'm not talking about like people need like companionship or some shit, but like a cell phone or like a car or truck or whatever, internet, that kind of crap. Like, I guess those could be like taken as needs now um, in the modern age. And to get even those things, like I guess if you want to tack them on there, like if you have a cell phone, you don't need an iPhone, okay, or you don't need a Ferrari out there. That's not going to make you any happier. And like for my cell phone, I got like a crappy flip phone. Had it for 5 years. I don't need the internet all the time on it either, so I'm not paying an exorbitant data fee or any of that shit. And I don't give a fuck about being connected all the time. This is the scope of my internet presence right here. It's this channel. And yeah, I gotta admit, this whole YouTube thing is a little bit harder to do, like off the cuff. So I gotta say, I kind of appreciate it more now. Now I have to try to do it, I guess. Well, I don't have to, but now that I try doing it, I can understand how it'd be a little bit more stressful trying to say what you mean. But anyways, yeah, and like my car is just like an old, like early 2000s car. Paid for it in cash up front. Nothing fancy. It gets the job done. It gets me from point A to point B. My home, definitely not a mansion. I was able to get a reasonable price for it, so I picked it up. Didn't go into debt for that either. Of course, it doesn't hurt that I live in a place nobody wants to live in the middle of bumfuck nowhere. But yeah, I mean, I was more focused on getting my needs, so I was willing to make a few sacrifices here and there. And that's kind of what I'm trying to say here is like if you chase your needs, you're probably going to be a lot more satisfied. Well, you are going to be more satisfied than if you go chasing after your wants or dreams. Like if you want the latest iPhone, chances are you're not going to be nearly as satisfied when you get it, like with the end result. Like you're going to do your payment plan and it's going to cost you more and all that shit. And if you also stop and think that everybody has to get up and do a job they hate, I would assume almost everyone here listening has to do that. I mean, if you're one of the lucky ones who got a job they love to go to every fucking day, good for you. You did it. Yay. But most of us, no. I don't love my job by any stretch. It pays the bills and then some. It's good enough. It's actually, yeah, it pays more than enough, actually. So, I don't complain about that too much. It's better than sleeping on the street. But still, like, even then, I don't squander my money on random bullshit that I know is not going to make me happy at the end of the day. Like, I don't know. I don't know why I really started thinking about this, but just noticed that I've worked in tons and tons of places. I used to travel around for work too. with some very well, like, all ends of the spectrum, basically, as far as income goes. And even places where I worked were like a manager or something. Like, these guys would just be up to their tits in debt, trying to milk the clock, trying to squeeze in as many hours of overtime as they possibly fucking could, just to afford their lifestyle. And they just made it needlessly complicated. Like there was no point for that. And then you see all these things about anxiety and depression. It's like, well, no shit. You're making yourself anxious, thinking you need the latest gadget all the fucking time, and thinking you're gonna be depressed or feeling depressed because it's not making you happy, and people don't really give a fuck if you have that. Um, it's just so weird, like the culture we live in, where people are so proud to fucking be chained to a job they hate for trinkets, basically, little knickknacks and stuff. Like the newest car or the fucking latest iPhone or something. Like, who gives a shit? Like that. I can honestly say that it has never once, ever factored into whether or not I liked a person. Ever. Or disliked them. Like, I've never looked at a person I hate and said, well, they got a 2020 Mercedes Benz or some shit. That just makes me hate them even more. Or a friend, like, they got the same car. It's like, well, I don't like them anymore because of that. That kind of shit. It's like, I mean, I'm not saying these things aren't nice to have, but at what cost? Like, you don't need to live the premium lifestyle to be somewhat satisfied or content. I mean, you'll never be satisfied here, let's be real. It's just the way the game works. But chasing every little whim and wish and bullshit dream your heart desires is just a recipe for a heartache. Really, it's a recipe for major heartache. Especially when these same people like will bitch and moan about getting groceries and stuff, like, and all that kind of stuff, or how gas is getting more expensive. It's like, you wouldn't. It's something you have to get anyway, so why are you complaining? Don't be wasting your money on dumb shit, and it won't be as big of a headache. I mean, yeah, it still kind of blows when you have to pay more for fucking rice or something, but at the end of the day, I'm willing to pay that expense because it saves me from starving to death, which is far less preferable. Kind of reminds me of just a quick anecdote, but there's a guy I used to work with. Guy had like a brand spanking new truck, fucking, wasn't like the current year at the time, but it was close. He had like a new iPhone with like the latest case and all that shit, and like he was a big outdoorsman. He had like the latest outdoors gear, like bows and fishing rods and all that sort of crap. Nice clothes. And this guy would come up to people all the time at where I worked at, asking for like $1 to get something out of the vending machine. The dude was so fucking broke. He had financed his life so much to the point where he can't even afford a fucking dollar to get something out of the vending machine. Just imagine a guy wearing like nice shoes, has a brand new iPhone, fucking brand spanking new truck rolling in and asking you for a fucking dollar to get a little fucking tube of donuts out of a fucking vending machine. And that was this guy. It was stupid. It still sticks with me even now. Like, I haven't talked to him in a while, but just thinking about it. And people, he's not the only one. Like, people will just buy shit thinking it's going to make them happy, and it doesn't, and they do it again. It's like a heroin shot or something, or smoking a cigarette. It's just, man, like, if anybody ever says humanity is a smart species, like, they need to look at the average person, like, fuck. And it really is kind of sad too, I guess, in a way. I mean, I can laugh, but it's really sad. Like I've said before, people are, if you look around, like, really, is anybody truly happy? Like, I haven't seen one. I mean, if you guys out there have seen one, please comment and let me know. Maybe you're one. I mean, I'm not, but if you are, let me know. I mean, I guess I'm a fairly negative person, but I don't have a stressful life, I guess, in a way. I kind of worked my ass off to make it that way, but I still don't have one now. And you'll see people chasing after just dumb things, thinking it'll make them happy for even just a second. And it really just makes them even more miserable. It really is kind of sad. And we're already in a pretty tragic scenario as it is. you really just don't need to make it worse on yourself. Um, like I see ads for like perfume or cologne or something, like cologne ads or alcohol ads. Like you're never gonna get any pussy or something if you don't do these things. If you're a guy, I guess. And for women, like you hear stories all the time about women who just feel inadequate because they don't look like the Maybelline girl or something, and even though they bought the product, and it just makes them more depressed and anxious. Like, really, it doesn't make you any more or less of a person, at least not to me, I guess, is what I'm saying. Really, that kind of crap, even if you're, like, successful, it's like, yeah, you were good at something. Like, I don't know, I was listening to, like, fucking Judas Priest today. I mean, Rob Halford may be a great singer, but is he a great mechanic or something? Or is he a great doctor? No. I mean, you're lacking in something anyways, even if you are successful in something, so. And, yeah, I mean, you just, yeah, like I said, you just don't need to go making it worse for yourself. Like, you're just, if you think of it this way, you're just here to serve your term. You're here to serve your term on planet Earth. Get the basics, get what you need. I'm not saying never go after what you want, but don't chase them, okay? Is what I'm trying to say. I mean, if you don't want to listen to what I have to say, I'm not here to give you advice, but you can do what you want with your life, I guess. But really, for me, the recipe was pretty simple. Get your needs, and then I found a lot of my wants disappeared after all, which it's kind of a weird bitch life is in that way, but not only that, but I could get some of the wants I wanted. There you go. Like, I mean, I wanted like a nice thing to play some video games on. I mean, I'm not a huge gamer like I used to be, but I could play games in high def now. So that's nice. And I didn't have to go into debt or put on a credit card and spend extra time at work dealing with people I don't like and doing shit I hate any more than I had to get it. So yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like you're not here to have a good time anyways. So let's be honest. If you think you're here to have a good time, well, reality is gonna really kick you in the balls at some point because you're not. You're not here for a good time. Yeah, yeah. I think who was that Schopenhauer? Just look at life as a prison. Like you're here to serve your sentence and go home. Maybe we committed a crime somewhere, I don't know, but it sure as fuck seems like that. Maybe there is no reason. I don't want to get too off into fairyland, but sometimes I wonder. Maybe the Gnostics were onto something. But anyways, yeah, let me just stress again. If you really want if you want much less stress in your life, you want much less drama in your life, you don't want to be not being able to sleep at night, worrying about your bills, or have less of a chance of that happening, just go for what you need. Go for what you need. It's really as simple as it gets, and it's just one of those things that I didn't catch on to until later. I wouldn't say I'm old or nothing, but I'm almost 30. I'm not there yet, but I'm on the razor's edge. But yeah, like I found my life to be much more stressless, just better all around. Now that I don't worry about giving a fuck what people think about me or what I wear or any of that. I mean, I never really did, but I give even less of a fuck now. And if people don't like the car you're driving, just tell them to buy you a new one. See, I've done that before. Like, oh, you're driving a piece of shit. I'm like, well, fucking buy me a new one then. If you don't like the car I'm driving, feel free to buy me one. And yeah, who cares? Like, it doesn't really make you any more or less of a person. At least not to me. I've never noticed it. I still hate the people I hate, and I still like the people I like. And I still love the people I love, I guess, regardless of what the fuck they're wearing or what car they're driving. Like, it doesn't really factor in. If your personality is based on the stuff you own, then I feel pity for you, I guess is what I'm saying. But I think I've just rambled on enough, and thinking about it, I think I might do a video on pleasure and pain at some point. I'm gonna say this so I can kind of hold myself to it. Got to do a little more preparation than just an off the cuff after work ramble. Because I think it's an interesting topic, and knowing a bit about it has certainly helped me in my life. as well as what I'm talking about here. So if it helps you, great, I guess. I'm glad to help. But if not, well, whatever. Just do whatever the fuck you want. I don't care. I can't stop you either way. So, anyways, thanks for watching and have a good one.